Hey everyone, it's Sarah, and today I am back with another Chatty Get Ready With Me or weekly catch-up. As always, I'm gonna jump right in. Okay, so it has been, oh my gosh, I have felt so physically bad for about 2 days leading up to that crazy supermoon, and then like ever since. I am just not feeling good at all. I haven't been sleeping at night. Like, I just physically feel really, really bad. So, I've been on the couch a lot this week, and I watched a couple of really good kind of long documentaries that I definitely want to talk about. After reading, sorry, let me get moving here. I don't think I'm gonna use a foundation today. I'm just going to use my e.l.f. Actually, there's a primer I want to use. I want to try this NYX Marshmallow Primer because, I don't know, I'm just interested in it. But anyways, after I read We Used to Live Here and Josh Mallerman's new one called Incidents Around the House, like, those two books completely got me out of a reading slump, but now I'm like right back in one because I want to read something just as good as those were, and I'm like, nothing is comparing. Those were so good. So I'm kind of in a reading slump again. I'm reading a book by an author named I think her name is Kristen Magdalene, I think is how you say her name, but called The Missing or something like that, about these people that get taken out to an island like off of Key West and get dropped off there, and they get tricked into getting on a boat, and then they get tricked into getting off the boat on this island, and then they're just left out there. This is a nice primer. It's really, really moisturizing. It will probably break my skin out, and my skin is in pretty good shape right now, so it's kind of sad, but it's okay. It's a really, really nice primer. Like, super nice primer. But anyways, I'm reading that. It's taking me forever to get through it. It's like one of those books that you should be able to sit and read in one sitting because it's just like, you know, kind of fast paced. It's really short. It's like less than 300 pages, but I just cannot like get into anything right now. So instead I've been watching documentaries, and I apologize for my appearance today. Like, my hair looks crazy. This is the best I can do. When I woke up this morning knowing it was filming day, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm gonna function because I feel so bad. Okay, I'm gonna go in with my e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. This is basically what I'm going to use for my foundation, and then I'm just going to conceal. But anyway, so I started watching that documentary. I don't know if it's a new documentary or not, since I just got Netflix back, and I'm not totally sure if it's like a new documentary, but the documentary on Oscar Pistorius, I think it's called The Life and Trial of Oscar Pistorius. And I'm not gonna lie, I remember when that happened, and I remember back then thinking like, well, I'll just give you a little bit of backstory if you don't know who I'm talking about. Oscar Pistorius is that double amputee. He's a double amputee, but he is like an incredible athlete, runner. Back when he was running like in the Olympics and Paralympics, he was called the Blade Runner. This is back in like, I don't know, I think he started competing in maybe like the early-ish 2000s. And then he finally made it to the like actual Olympics, not even the Paralympics, like the actual Olympics in 2012 in London. And, get this. I'm going to use a brush because something is pilling. I don't know if it's the primer or if it's maybe some of my skincare. It could very well be skincare. My skin is really, really dry right now, so I'm like layering up a bunch of skincare. So it could definitely be skincare. But anyways, so he went to the Olympics. Anyways, a really, really tragic situation happened where he thought that there was an intruder in his house and he shot and killed his girlfriend. And like I said, I'm not gonna lie, when I heard about it, I thought, I couldn't even imagine a scenario where you would think your girlfriend was an intruder. I was like, I couldn't fathom it. So anyways, I watched this documentary, or I was like really interested in the documentary because, let me use my corrector, because again, I remember when this happened and I remember thinking he definitely should go to jail because he shot and killed somebody in his own house thinking it was an intruder when it was his girlfriend. Like, how ridiculous do you have to be to do something like that? And the documentary on Netflix is like a really, really long documentary. It's 3 parts and each part is, I think each part is almost 2 hours long, or I don't know. It's long. It's a long documentary. But anyways, so I'm watching through it, and when it got to the point where they did the reenactment of what happened, I was like, oh my gosh, I see now how that could have happened, like how it could have just been a complete tragic, stupid, but accident. It definitely should have never happened. And it's just tragic in every way. But I learned so much information in that, and then I, of course, heard all the stuff that was in the mainstream media saying that he was violent, he was possessive, they had been fighting, people heard screaming before he, did what he did. And like, none of that is true. None of it, of course. Of course, none of it is true. So I don't know. It is an absolutely heartbreaking documentary on all sides. It's just something that should have just never happened. Anyways, it was a good documentary. If you're interested in it, if you're interested in seeing like what probably happened, there are some people that just still think to this day that he did it on purpose, that they were fighting, that he was basically a psycho that, was just trigger happy, and he just, did it out of like, because he's just a, murderer. That's just not the case. It's just not the case at all. I'm glad I watched it because now I feel like I know, what happened. It was awful. It should have never happened. But yeah, so I watched that. But that documentary was so, it was so heavy and so heart-wrenching. I had to take a break. I couldn't watch it all the way through in one sitting because it was too much emotionally. It was very, it was just absolutely heart-wrenching. And so I took a break from that, and my mom told me that, because I was telling her about that movie when Charlotte and I watched Priscilla, the new movie, and I was saying how, I would love to be able to watch something else that's like from a different perspective, that isn't just her story, because that's all I've ever really heard, even from being like a kid, because I read her book like in the 90s, and gosh, that's a good combination. Like, that concealer would over that e.l.f. Halo Glow is really, really nice. It's a little bit like on the light side. I'm a little too tan right now. I've just gotten so much sun this summer. I'm so tan. Like, I just love it so much. But anyways, okay. I'm gonna go in with this. I haven't used this in a long time. This is my Tarte Sculpt Tape. I love this. This is one of my favorite bronzers of life. It's so good. But anyways, so I was telling my mom that when we were talking about the movie, or when I was telling her that Charlotte and I watched that movie, and she found a documentary on Prime, on Amazon Prime, called Loving Elvis. And it had all of, like, a lot of his girlfriends. It just had, like, a lot of people in it that I had never really heard, like, their stories. A lot of his girlfriends, like his first really serious girlfriend was in it. I love this little brush for when I use liquid makeup. This is a little VIB Rouge Pro Mini Flawless Airbrush. I've had this for so many years. It's been many, many years since I've been VIB Rouge. I just don't buy makeup like that anymore. But anyways, so I was saying how, because I know I told you guys, or whenever I talked about that movie and talked about, you know, her book that she wrote and all that, and I was saying how I thought that she was the love of his life because from her perspective, she was. And I'm telling you, that documentary will give you a completely different point of view. I don't actually think he had a love of his life, honestly. I don't know that he was really capable of that. He was one of those men that just had to have different women all of the time. Like, could not, he just wasn't a one woman man. Like, that just wasn't, it just wasn't in his nature. And it's so complicated because of, you know, going back to like his mom passing away and him being the twin that survived. His twin brother died at birth, and like there's just a lot of like psychological stuff there going on. And yeah, my mom and I was talking about how when I told my mom how Lisa Marie didn't want that movie to even be made because she said it made her dad look like a predator. I'm going to use this blush. This is the one I just picked up from Dollar Tree. This is the LA Colors blush in the shade Creamsicle. I'm going to be doing a kind of like sunsetty eye today, so I think this little coral. And these are supposed to be dupes for the NYX Butter Blushes. So we'll see. I don't know. I couldn't even tell you because I've never used one of the NYX Butter Blushes. Maybe one of these days I will pick one up. But anyways, my mom was like, I mean, yeah, people, that's not like a wrong impression because he, like, when you watch this documentary, you'll see he definitely had a taste for young. Like 14 was his, which is how old Priscilla was when she met him. But I don't know. It's just a very strange, very, very strange situation. But again, a lot of it had to do with like psychological stuff and I don't know. But yeah, there is definitely a different side to that story. I no longer think that she was probably the love of his life. I think that, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to know because, you know, when she left him for that other man, he like put a hit out on that other man. So it definitely affected him. And I do think that after she left, like he went downhill. So it's not like I think he didn't love her. And I think that they try to portray it that way in that documentary. They try to portray it as like he only married her out of obligation. He didn't really like he didn't like never wanted to marry her, but it's like she's the only woman he ever had a child with that we know of. I'm going to use this highlighter. This is the for your finger. Yeah. Hold on. This is the Smashbox Drawn In Decked Out Spotlight Palette. This is the one that they did with Casey. I can't even remember her name anymore. It's been so long ago. This is super old. Charlotte is massaging the microphone, so you might be able to hear that. So I'm going to be using this kind of really light gold one. That's also where there's definitely a discrepancy with how she says that things went. She claims that like somebody spotted her and asked her to come hang out at one of Elvis's parties, and that is just not the case. She fully like is the one that set up the whole thing. So yeah, I've always wondered if her version of events is fully accurate, and it's not. It's just not. There are a lot of other people that were there at the time that are still alive, and this documentary just came out. All of the people in it are really, really like old. They're all in their 70s, some in their 80s. So yeah, there are definitely a lot of discrepancies, but I was actually really glad to be able to watch something from a different perspective. I don't necessarily think it makes him look any better. Let's do some eyeshadow primer real quick. So yeah, that's what I've been doing this week. I spent a lot of time on the couch watching these, and both of those documentaries, they're pretty long ones. They're like, they're both 3-parters, and they're pretty long. So it did take me most of the week to get through all of them, to get through both of them. And yeah, that's what I've been doing because I have felt so physically bad, and I wasn't really paying attention, so I didn't know what was going on. I didn't really know that this like strange moon was a thing, and so yeah, it's just been, oh gosh, it's been really, really rough. I'm gonna use just this like matte-ish, I think it's actually like a satin, but I'm gonna put that all over my eyelid and then go on top of that because my eyeshadow has been creasing a little bit, or it's been like wearing off a little bit. So I'm gonna see if putting down a base will help with that some. But anyways, both of those documentaries were really, really good. I definitely recommend both of them. The Oscar Pistorius one is very difficult to watch because it's an incredibly sad story, and oh gosh, just the fact that it happened, I mean, it just destroyed everybody's lives, like her parents and families, because I don't know if they ever said, but I feel like she was an only child, and it was just awful. Okay, I think I'm gonna go straight in with the yellow. I haven't done a sunset eye in so long, like I barely even remember. And this palette, oh my gosh, I love this palette. This is like an old Tarte / Sugar Rush palette, and I had to have it because I love the whole like bee motif so much. And this is one of those palettes that like, it was kind of limited edition. It wasn't around for very long, and I am just so thankful that I picked it up when I did, because this is just, it's a gem. It's a gem in my collection. But anyways, that's one thing about South African law that I was like very surprised by, that after he had been through a months-long trial and the judge sentenced him in the way that she thought was appropriate, like they had some kind of a higher court come back, and she sentenced him with like, I can't remember what the actual charge was, but it was something like willful homicide basically, because I'm pretty sure that there's a law in South Africa that even if somebody's in your home, like you're not supposed to use deadly force unless you are in like imminent danger, which he was not, obviously. So he was charged with something like, I want to say it was like willful homicide or something like that. But after he was charged, like higher courts came back and like after the fact charged him with murder, and then 2 separate times upped his sentence. Like, they came back and charged him with murder, and then like they upped his sentence to, I think, from 5 to 6 years or something. And then they came back again and upped it from 6 years to 15 years. So that seems really, really off to me. I don't know if there are any South Africans watching. I would love to hear your perspective, number one, and I would also love, if you could explain how that works, because I'm just not super, I obviously am not super familiar. But it was another one of those cases where there are people that even after like solid evidence has come back showing that it was absolutely not premeditated, that they were not fighting, that it could not have been her screams that people were hearing, that it was him screaming, because when he realized what had happened, he had to like break down the door, and then he went out on I guess a balcony or something, and was literally screaming for help. Gosh, it's just awful. But it was him that people heard screaming, and the person that claims that she heard screaming before the actual gunshots, like, was too far away, and at the time she said that she heard the screaming was after the incident had already happened, so there's just no way it could have been his girlfriend screaming. It was him screaming. But even after all of this evidence comes out, there are people out there that still, and these are the people that just drive me insane, there are people out there that still believe the narrative that they were screaming and fighting, and that his girlfriend was basically like screaming for her life, and before the gunshots even happened. And that's just not factual. It's just not. And there's plenty of evidence to support that it's not factual. But there are people that they double down. They just do not care. But this is going to sound really mean, and I hope people don't take this the wrong way, but I just saw like a TikTok where they were saying that people that are like that like literally, if the truth is right in their face, but they have an idea that that something is one way in their mind, and they're presented with evidence to say that no, what you think is not correct or not factual, and they just can't accept it. They can't accept any other version but what they think and feel is accurate. That people like that actually lack intelligence, which, I am not going to argue with that. I just feel like I don't understand. I just don't understand how you can be presented with facts and not be able to change your opinion or your way of thinking. I just don't understand it. But anyways, yeah, it was a hard documentary to get through, very hard. But I'm glad I watched it, because now I feel like I have a much better understanding of what happened, and of course what I thought, based on everything that I saw in the media, is not at all what the situation was. And I think that in my opinion, allegedly, in my opinion, I think that his ex-girlfriend, the one that he was seeing right before the current girlfriend, I think that she has a hand in what happened, and I definitely, in my mind, I hold her somewhat responsible for what happened, because of the peripheral situation that was going on in his life, that made him paranoid in the first place, made him so paranoid that he would just fire at somebody. There were some issues that I had with him, though. The fact that he would not, and I know because I know, and I'm pretty sure it has to do with, because they do have a law there, I'm pretty sure that states that you can't, you have to be in imminent danger. You can't, and that's how it should be. Like, that's just life. That's how life should be. That's how every country should be. You shouldn't be able to just willy-nilly, like, harm somebody like that unless you are absolutely like, your life is on the line. But anyways, he would not admit, he backtracked, and like his story had always been that he did it. It was like the whole situation was an accident because of what his perception was. But then because he was pleading not guilty, he backtracked and said that he didn't mean to pull the trigger, that it was an accident. No, sir. Like, you definitely knew what you were doing, and you pulled that trigger 4 times, and it was no accident. I mean, it just wasn't. So, okay, I think I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, which is like a really pretty coral. So that bothered me because he did take full responsibility and accountability for it all the way up until he got on the stand. And that's another thing. Like, after watching that documentary, I am very glad that we live in a country where you cannot be compelled to take the stand in your own trial. Like, you can just let your lawyers deal with it, because that's what I think buried him, was because he, throughout the whole trial, the whole thing was, it was a terrible accident. I thought it was an intruder. I thought it was just a terrible accident. But when they got him on the stand, he was like compelled to incriminate himself. And because of that, like, it made him look really, really bad. And I just don't think that people should have to, but I'm pretty sure, I don't know. I can't imagine that he would have chosen to take the stand if he didn't have to. I don't know. It's just really messed up. But anyways, he was charged in 2004 and he has to serve 15 years. So I was trying to figure out like when he's going to get out, if they even let him out. I don't know. I don't know if like he's going to end up having to, like, if they're going to somehow keep him in. I just don't know. At the end of the documentary, it said that he doesn't have a release date yet. So 2029 is when he should be getting out. I don't know, dude. It was really a good documentary. If you're one of those people, though, that you just, which I completely understand, like, if you are one of these people, no judgment from me. If you are one of those people that, like, feels like you don't care, it was, intentional, or the situation doesn't matter at all, like, then I wouldn't watch it, because it might just be like, it was upsetting for me, and so I can imagine if it was like somebody else who just in their mind, there's no excuse for it. Like, again, 100% no judgment from me. I 100% understand. If you are like that, then I would not watch it. I would not watch it. Okay, I'm gonna go in with now a darker shade, this one right here. I'm trying to think of anything like really interesting that I have seen on TikTok, because I'm always coming across really interesting stuff on TikTok. What I have been running into on TikTok a lot is like, oh gosh, these people that are so annoying with their beef and trying to like, I don't even know, make this, I don't know, all these people, like British people that just have beef with Americans, and how things, how some people do things over here, or just, I don't know, there are some like British people that are on TikTok, and that's like their whole thing is to just criticize Americans and America, which is like, that's fine. But now so many Americans are like, getting, even my daughter, even Charlotte, it's come up on her For You page so much that now she thinks that like all British people hate Americans, and I don't know, it's just super unfortunate because of course people like that for whatever reason are like the loudest. So it just, I don't know. But anyways, I've been having a lot of that like beef stuff come up on my TikTok, and it's like, dude, I wish people would understand that these people do not speak for the majority of people. Like, we are very different people, we are very different culturally, and most people understand that. So I don't know, it's just gotten really, really out of hand. And I've just been seeing so much of it. But anyways, yeah, like there are a ton of Americans that are just over it. And so now they're like making videos, and I hate it because now American, like the people that are, you know, really mad about it, are going after creators that really enjoy America and travel here a lot, and their whole channel is like based on that kind of content, and they're really, really sweet people, and people are even attacking them at this point, and it's just, oh, it's so ridiculous. I think I need to use a little bit of powder under my eyes because I feel like they're slightly shiny. I mean, you guys can see the massive circles under my eyes. I don't know. Yeah, you can see them. I don't think I've slept in 3 nights. I've just been, I don't know. Gosh, I've had the hardest time. But anyways, yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else. I have not done a whole lot this week because I have felt so terrible. Okay, I think I'm gonna darken this up even a little bit more and go in with this dark brown. I'm just gonna take a tiny, tiny bit just to add a little bit more depth. Yeah, just like that, just a tiny, tiny bit. I would love to know, that is one thing, because I know that not everybody gets affected by the moon, like full moons and weird moons and stuff. I know not everybody is like that. Some of us are though, and like I think a lot of people that don't understand like what, either don't understand or don't believe it. My husband does not understand, but no, I don't think it did affect him, but he just doesn't really understand. And so and I don't understand myself. I just know what I go through. I haven't had a really bad one like this since there was some kind of weird super blue moon kind of thing that happened a couple years ago, and the same thing. Like I had the same thing happen to me. Somebody requested that I do a video about perfumes that celebrities wear. Oh, and you guys know I hate celebrities, so I'm gonna do it though because the person asked, and I try to do all subscriber requested videos. So I'm gonna do it. But yeah, it's so funny. I've been doing research like to figure out, and I don't want to do like, anything that's not current. So I'm like trying to find the most current stuff that I can. And it's been really eye-opening to see what fragrances people, celebrities wear. It's just funny. A lot of them wear niche. Like Byredo is a really, really popular, really popular house among celebrities, which I like Byredo just fine. I don't think they're the most interesting fragrances in the world, but I think they're fine. I'm trying to figure out which shade to put on my eyes. Should I go lighter? Should I do more of a bronze? Should I do yellow? I'm thinking should I do gold? I'm thinking I'm gonna do this bronze. I'm gonna just use my finger. I'm gonna do bronze right in the center. Charlotte's gonna give you a little bit of ASMR. She's playing with the fuzzy microphone. Oh yeah, that's pretty. I'm probably gonna go in with the glitter because I just...
Tom's can work better with Yasha.
I was gonna go in with this.
No.
Yeah, I think that will be cute. It will match my blusher.
Ever.
To blur my... I think I need to get that one size powder that everybody raves about. That blurring powder.
Yeah. See how that looks better?
Yeah. Yeah, it does look better. So silly. Alright, let's see. Actually, that did look really good. Putting powder over everything.
See how it blurs you and you look less old?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do. I usually never use powder because a lot of the time it just doesn't look good on me. This is such a good powder, and sadly this freaking makeup company is defunct, so I cannot get it again.
I think you look a little too bronzy, and that makes you look older.
A little too bronzy?
Yeah.
Okay, well we can fix that maybe with a little bit of powder. Okay, I think I toned everything down. Okay, I'm gonna go in with this yellow, just right on the inner corners here. I haven't done an eyeshadow look like this in so long. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some glitter because it's just a glitter kind of day. That's really pretty. Should I do anything on the tiny, like the outer corners, or should I just leave my under eyes bare? We're just gonna keep it bare. Okay. Let's see if I have a glitter that would, I don't know. I don't think any of these shades, maybe, yeah, maybe I'll just pop a tiny bit of this bronzy one. Just on the inner corners. That's another thing. So that new Scott Peterson documentary came out on Peacock, which I haven't watched. I don't have Peacock and I'm not going to subscribe just for that. But yeah, I have started to think of something else. I don't know if it's even a possibility that, I mean, is there a possibility that he had somebody else do it? That maybe he met some shady people through his fertilizer business or whatever and like paid somebody else to do it, but he can't obviously, you know, say that because either way he's gonna be the one like to blame for it. You look so cute. Why don't you go get a stool? I don't know, that's kind of a theory, because they're just some big holes like that make it hard for me to believe that he did it all on his own. Like one of the biggest things for me is, how did the person that helped him launch his boat that day, and it was a small boat, that was not a big boat, how did the person that helped him launch his boat that day not see that he had a rolled up, you know, a body rolled up in a tarp? Like that would be super, super identifiable and super suspicious. Charlotte's gonna join us. I'm almost done with this and then we'll start doing some perfume videos. Oh, that's pretty. I love that glitter. Isn't that fun?
You need mascara.
I'm about to put some on, boo-boo.
Don't make it look clumpy.
I won't.
I'm gonna put it on your top lashes.
I will, and I'm gonna do brown. Okay, tight line. But yeah, that is one of the things that, because that person that helped him launch his boat that day testified that they did not see anything in the boat. So I just don't understand how.
Tight line. It's so painful whenever I try.
Yeah, you just have to stay real close to like your lashes and not get too close to your eyeball. Stay real close to your lashes. Okay. And mascara. But yeah, that is one of the things that it's like, I'm convinced he did it, but there are some things that definitely create reasonable doubt, and that's one of them. And then also that 13 people claim that they saw her walking the dog, and some of those people are like, no, I'm not doing black.
Why?
I'm gonna do brown.
This one looks better.
No, I think brown will be pretty with this
It's gonna
one.
look clumpy.
It won't, baby.
Yes, it will.
It won't.
Yes, it
I
will.
promise. You should put some mascara on though.
No,
Why not?
I don't feel like it.
Yeah, I hear you. But those two things are two things that have always really bothered me about it. And I don't know, I just can't get past it. So that's what I've been thinking recently. Like, is there, Charlotte Grace, is there a possibility that he paid somebody else to do it and somebody else did do it, but he went down for it because there was so much circumstantial evidence for him? Because mascara is really hard to do on somebody else's boat. Let me just get the first coat down and then I'll...
Turn.
Okay.
Now.
All right, let me just get this first coat on and then you can do what you need to
It
do.
looks clumpy.
Why does it look, how does it look
like
clumpy?
to only put it on the outer corner.
Oh, well, I think I've tried that before and it looks weird on me. Oh, and that baby.
Look. Okay. This is almost some colors than I suggested.
Yeah, it's brown though. Don't you dare. These are all the liners I have, aren't they?
How do you have so little lip liner?
I don't know, I've just never been like big on lip liners. Because I'm more of a gloss girl anyways, but liner does look good with gloss. Okay, out of all of these, what do you think?
The highlighter or whatever you got on your lips already is messing me up. I messed up because this stupid.
I'm sorry.
Get.
Are you saying deja vu?
For what?
I don't know. Like that we've done this before. Oh, there's something sharp in that. Oh, I think it needs to be sharpened. Do I even have a sharpener?
Okay, let me do the bottom.
Okay. Okay, just be careful because that's got sharp on it.
Why is there orange under your lip? What's happening?
Orange?
Yeah, it's like bronzy.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it bronze under your lip?
Because it makes your lip look
No,
better.
it don't. Sorry, you just look like a fool. Got scars on your lips.
Mm-hmm. Sure do.
It's okay, I do too.
Yeah. I need to get the toothbrush for you. Thank you, Lily. Ooh, that's getting real sharp.
Short?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah.
Hard.
That's why where'd the cat go? That's why I use gloss, because I've got scars on my lips and it's just not cute.
Open.
You definitely got Irish curls.
Take off my waves. Look. I was hoping this would be more pigmented.
Mm-hmm.
Be cute if it was pigmented.
That's okay. It's pretty pigmented. Yeah, it is. It's pretty pigmented with the
It blended
liner.
nice.
It did. So, all right. That is makeup done. I feel like that took a long time because I jabbered so much. I love this. I never usually do lip liners, but Charlotte was right. It looks really good with a gloss. I need to get more, huh? We need to get more lip liners. So anyways, guys, you guys, I know that took a super long time because I yapped so much, but those documentaries were definitely like, I don't know, I've just been, they were just kind of like emotional ones. But anyways, you guys, I do hope that you all enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.